Hi, I'm Tanner with Transwest Truck Trailer RV, here coming to you live again from Frederick, Colorado. Today we're going to go over a really nice used inventory unit. We just got this sucker in. It is a 2019 Cimarron Norstar 4-horse gooseneck, 6'10 wide, 7'1 tall. It's kind of got a bunch of cool features that you don't normally see on a little standard 4-horse like this. And for 2019, I mean, this trailer's still super clean. It'd still be a super good trailer for someone just looking to get in something pretty new but don't want to pay the new price tag. Here up underneath the nose, pretty standard. We just have your Cimarron, single speed jack. This can be upgraded to an electric hydraulic jack. If that's something you guys wanted to do, we can do that here in our shop for you guys. Here is your spare tire, the spare wheel. The first thing you'll notice is the wheel is actually an aluminum wheel. It's not just a steel replacement wheel. We want you guys, if you guys blow a tire somewhere, or Cimarron wants you guys, if you blow a tire somewhere, get a flat, and you need to throw the spare on, you're not riding on a donut. You got a matching wheel and you're still looking pretty flashy going to your show, your rodeo, whatever it may be. Cool thing I like about this trailer is you guys will notice that it's got this extra large tack door as you make your way around here. Typically a Cimarron door, you're going to see about a 32, 33 inch door right here, which is going to be just enough for you to get in within a saddle like that, or to get in through the door with a saddle. But you'll notice this trailer does have a swing out saddle rack. Cool thing about doing the big door, this is a big 42 inch door, is even with this swung out, you have room to get in and out of this trailer with your saddle swung out, which I think is super handy. Cool thing I like about it too is the way the saddle rack swings out, the way these blanket bars swing out. You're probably gonna have your horse tied right here, and it's really efficient to be able to just pull your saddles off, pull your blankets off, and saddle your horse right here, right next to your door, which I think is super handy. The swing out saddle rack operates really clean. It's on kind of a gas piston, so you kind of start pushing it and it pulls itself in, or you start pulling it and it'll kind of pull itself out for you, so it makes it super easy for you guys. Same goes for your blanket bar. Even though it's a little light bar, it is on a piston too. It just kind of helps hold it out and hold it in while you're driving. That way you're not dumping blankets while you're going down the road and having to pick them up off the floor when you get where you're going. Underneath that blanket bar, we do have this brush tray, pretty standard Cimarron brush tray. You can put brushes in here, sprays in here, fly spray, show sheen, mane and tail, stuff like that. It is drilled with some drains in the bottom, so if you do get a leaky bottle or anything like that, or you do just want to clean that out, I know some brushes can get pretty nasty and gunked up sometimes, so they'll tend to gunk up your brush box a little bit, so you can always just spray this box out and it'll drain out the bottom. You don't have to worry about it. Up here in this front tack area, it's a really cool front tack area. It's a little bit bigger. I think it's about a 3.5 foot short wall. The cool thing about making that a little bigger is you can fit a lot of stuff in a 3.5 foot short wall, especially when it's a non-LQ front tack like this. Everything's carpeted up here, so you could sleep in here if you wanted. You have 2 big bus windows up there that you can open up if you wanted to get some nice airflow. It's really easy to throw a mattress up there. Cool thing about it, if you look up here towards the roof, it is pre-framed for an AC. So like I said, you can always, through our shop, add some things you guys want. It makes it a little easier for us to pre-frame it from Cimarron, which is why we do that. That way if you guys do want to put an AC in here, it's really easy for them to cut that hole out and just drop an AC in versus reframing the roof of this trailer. Another thing about making it a 3.5 foot short wall, or a little bit bigger short wall than your standard, is you do get this big shelf on this wall over here. And it's a deep shelf with a lip if you'll look up here. It's rubber matted, and I like that they do a lip on there because a lot of times if you're throwing hats, boots, anything up there, and you take a sharp corner, they have a tendency to roll off. With this lip, nothing's going to fall off this shelf, which I think is really nice. Underneath that, you do have a clothes rod, which is really nice for if you're going to shows, anything like that. You can hang slickers in here, clothes, keep them off the ground. Just kind of keep everything organized and out of the way. Really cool setup for where they put the bridle hooks in this trailer. With this big walk-through door right here, it's really hard to kind of figure out where to position your bridle hooks in this trailer. But I think they did a really good job of doing a double-tier bridle hook here underneath this shelf. It's going to give you a couple places to hang headstalls, hats, boots, anything like that. Cool thing I like about it too, with this being carpeted, a lot of your guys' splint boots and bell boots and stuff like that will have that Velcro, and you can Velcro them right to that carpet to dry them out. Pretty much anywhere you see carpet in this trailer, you can Velcro stuff too to dry them out. The big walk-through door I talked kind of makes it hard again to put them bridle hooks where you typically would put them or see them is along this big wall right here. But again, they did a really good job right there. It also gives you the ability to have this walk-through door. I think having a walk-through door is awesome, especially in a 4-horse like this. Typically you get a 4-horse, you're gonna be hauling 4 horses maybe one time a year when you're taking all 4 of your horses. Most of the time you're gonna be hauling 2 or 3, and you're gonna wanna use this big stud stall up front to store stuff in, which I think is really nice because you can keep your horses in there. If you need to pull over and run and grab something out of your first stall, you can come right through the front tack, right through that gate, or you can go through the escape door on this trailer. I also think it's really nice because this not being a non-living quarters trailer, you don't really have a bathroom in here, and a lot of times traveling, you can be a long ways in between gas stations. You can pull over, run to that front stall, go to the bathroom if you need to in that front stall. Over here, we do have your typical 25-gallon water tank on a stand. I think it's really handy because you can water your horses again. Like I talked, saddling right outside this door, you can run a hose right to the bottom of this tank, right out your door, and be able to fill your buckets if you're tied out for the night or you're just watering your horses when you get to the show. It's really cool to have that water tank set up like that. It's super easy to clean. If you ever need to clean it, you can just take your 2 straps off, pull it, open your valve, and pretty much reverse thread it. There's a little valve here on top that lets you get some airflow. So you can always tip it upside down, hook your hose on there, and pump water out the end like that and clean it reverse how you would normally fill it. It's a really cool, really easy way to be able to water horses, water a dog if you're traveling with the dog. Before I hop out, the last feature I want to talk about is this big brush box, or not the brush box, this big boot box right here. There's a split 50-50 boot box up here on this partition wall, or this drop wall. The reason I like is, again, it gives you a nice step up in there to that bed if you are sleeping, but again, it gives you place for storage. You can keep buckets in here, you can keep hay bags in here, grain bags, you can keep lawn chairs, whatever you need, you can keep in here out of the way. That way you're not tripping over stuff trying to get stuff out of your trailer. I know it gets frustrating when you're traveling and you get everything packed in here to get where you're going, and you need one little thing and you can't find it, or you're tripping over everything to get it, and this again is just gonna help you keep your trailer organized. Coming down your hip wall, it's a pretty standard Cimarron, 4-horse hip wall. You're gonna have your 4 big bus windows right here. They are sliding type, so you can open them for your horses. They'll each come with a little knob. You can slide them open. They're locked right now. They'll slide all the way open. What it kind of does is you have those big drops on the front that you always see from Cimarrons, and they do these really big bus windows on the back. Kind of takes place of some big drop windows you might see, but you can open them up, get that airflow flowing nice and clean over your horses and out the back side of this trailer. Up above, we do have a 16-inch awning light. Again, that's just to give you guys some light. Like I said, if you're saddling, feeding anything, you're tying out for the side of your trailer for the night, it's gonna give you enough light for you to see what you're doing with your horse, and your horse to be able to see what it's doing. That way it keeps you safe and your horse safe as well. You are gonna have 4 tie rings on each side of this trailer. Again, it is a 4-horse. Again, you're gonna have 4 positions on this side to tie, saddle from right there. Or if you need to saddle on the off side to maybe get some shade, if you're somewhere where the shade's on that side, there's gonna be 4 rings on the other side as well. Down here, again, are those matching aluminum wheels. It is gonna be twins to that spare up front. So what would happen if you did get a flat or something like that? You notice that spare up front doesn't have a little hub cover right here. So what you do is, if you got a flat, you would take that spare up there, slap it on, is take the hub cover off whichever tire you got a flat, or blow it on and put it on the new one, and you're matching, you look good going down the road. You notice there is a green tab on all these tires. They are nitrogen filled. What that nitrogen does is it kind of helps balance that pressure out in that tire, especially in a place like Colorado where we see a lot of cold nights, warm mornings, or in the winters we see a lot of really, really cold days that maybe warm up to some warm temperatures in the afternoon. So what that does, it just keeps your PSI from fluctuating all the time, which is easier on your tires, but it's also easier on you not having to fill them and refill them to get them where you need them to travel. So I really like the back side of this trailer. It's a little different than you normally see. Normally you see a front tack like that. We normally have a folding rear like this. I kind of like that we didn't do a folding rear on this one, or whoever ordered this one didn't do a folding rear, just because you have so much room in that front tack, you don't really have to worry about your folding rear. The reason I also like it is because you have the option with these big 60/40 back doors. You don't need to open both of them to load a horse. If you just want to keep that door shut and load your horse, you can easily jump them up in that bigger 60 side door. If you got a horse that doesn't like to load or something like that, it's real easy to open this door and give them a real big opening to look at and see all that light in there. They have a tendency to load a little better when you open both doors. Cool thing I like also, or not the cool thing, but the reason why we do it, is a lot of times you'll see a big butt bar across a trailer like this. But this being a big, wide open trailer with no folding rear tack, instead of the butt bar, we opted for this Cimarron toe strap. The reason we do that is because if you do have a big butt bar across here, and you imagine that's a solid piece of metal trying to drop out of the way right here, you're not gonna have the room to do it, you're not gonna have the clearance to do it, and it's pretty easy for your horse to get trapped behind that bar or hang a leg on that bar, get injured or injure yourself. So it's really nice that we do these Cimarron toe straps. I think they're super slick and they work just as good as the bars. The floor underneath this trailer, of course, it is the toughest floor on the market. This is Cimarron's aluminum floor. It's built on 4-inch centers. Most competitors you'll see they're built on 6, 8, sometimes even a little bit bigger centers than that. But by doing a 4-inch center, Cimarron does, no matter where a horse stands on this floor, they're gonna be standing directly over a support beam. Just safer for your horse. Your horse is gonna ride a lot better. For any reason this floor ever gives out, which it shouldn't because it is the strongest floor, your horse is gonna be over supports. It's not gonna be in between supports ever on this trailer, which I think is super nice to have them standing on a solid piece of metal versus a piece of aluminum spread out over however far. Up here you'll notice they are Cimarron's typical dividers. They are not padded. We could pad them if that's something you wanted to do. We can do that here in our shop. It's pretty simple. Thing I want to point out is you'll notice up here on these dividers that they're plastic latches. I've had a couple people come in and they don't like the idea of putting plastic latches on a horse trailer because they don't think they're strong enough. They think they're going to have problems, but it's actually the opposite. These latches are a lot better than having a metal latch here and a metal latch here. Just because metal on metal, it's going to wear different. It's going to grind and eventually it's going to get loose and this gate's going to start rattling and eventually it's going to start popping open because that metal is just grinding and wearing away at each other. By doing plastic on metal, it's not going to wear as easy and it's going to be a lot quieter for your horses than a bunch of metal clinging around in here. If you get horses in here and metal starts clinging around, a lot of times your horses have a tendency to start freaking out. They don't know where that sound's coming from. If you haven't hauled a horse a lot of times and they're pretty green, they can start freaking out when they hear noises like that. So again, it's just help keeping you safe and your horses safe. Cimarron does a real good job of thinking pretty much about absolutely everything for your safety and your horse's safety as well. If for any reason you guys are ever watching these videos and you got a slick idea on a trailer that you think would really help, the user out, the horse out, or anything like that, we're always open to options. We can send them to Cimarron, they'll test them out, and if it ends up working, it ends up working, and you guys can say you helped build a great trailer. This first stall is a big stud divider. I like having a big stud divider because kind of like I talked in the beginning, if you're using that walk-through door, that escape door, the stud divider is going to give you that option to trap whatever you want up there. If you're keeping a generator up there, grain, totes, anything like that, it's going to keep that stuff from rolling underneath your horses while you're traveling. And it's also just a big separation for a horse. Main purpose behind the stud divider is if you're hauling a horse that likes to fight, kick, anything like that, you can put them in that front stall, and if they're kicking and stuff, they're not hitting the horses next to them. They're not biting at the horses next to them because they got that big stall, stud stall separating, but it also serves as a big separation point if you're hauling some stuff while you're traveling. Again, here's that big walk-through door that if you ever needed to, this is where you'd come through into that stud stall. That's where we started the video, is up there in that gooseneck. But right here is your escape door. Escape door serves a purpose. If you ever get in a wreck or something like that, you can't for some reason get your horses out that back door, but you still have access to here. You can always jump horses out this front door. And in some situations, it'll save your trailer to where if you get in a bad enough wreck that they're thinking about cutting open the side of your trailer or something like that, but you have this escape door, it could save you a lot of money getting your trailer repaired if they're cutting into the side of it as well. But it does have a chest bar on it. We put a chest bar right here just in case you have a horse that likes to lean up against the front of the trailer. They're not leaning on that door, leaning on the outside hinge of this trailer. They're leaning against this bar, which is really strong to help protect that door a little bit. I'll drop this chest bar and we'll jump out this way. So as you can see, it's really easy for you to even jump in and out of that escape door right there if you needed to go to the bathroom, unload some stuff, get some grain, get some hay. And the cool thing is, if your hay's like we were just in there, say you have hay in there, you're right here, you have these big Cimarron drop downs. If you got horses loaded, you can grab hay, just like we did, jump out that door, and you can be right here feeding your horses while you're traveling. It's super easy, especially on a 6'10" wide trailer like this, to be able to jump up here, not only feed your horses, check on your horses, make sure they're not hanging a leg or something like that, but I like that you can tie them and untie them up from here as well. That way if you get to where you're going, you have a horse that gets a little antsy and likes to back over the top of you as soon as you open the gate, or you like to tie your horses, having 6'10" wide with these big drops make it super easy to jump up there, tie them, untie them, keep you safe, keep your horse safe. And again, Cimarron's windows are probably the easiest, slickest windows to operate I've ever seen. Down low, you will notice those are the same wheels all the way around this trailer. For this being a 2019, I still believe they are original tires, but if you want to take a look at them, I mean, the tread on them is awesome. I don't think they hardly ever use this trailer. I think you guys can tell that by just kind of walking around and walking through it. I mean, this trailer is very, very lightly used for a 2019. It's a very clean trailer. Cool thing I like about Cimarron trailers as well is you'll notice there is a big grate on this escape door right here. A lot of trailers you'll see like a bus window on there where it's just a sliding type, but Cimarron does a really good job as they put a little smaller drop down window in there, so if you are hauling for any reason, you have the ability to drop that window down and get your horse some extra airflow. Again, there's that big bus window up in the nose. If you did have a mattress up in there, you could open these big bus windows, get some good airflow and stuff like that. So again, this is a used inventory unit. It is a 2019 Cimarron Norstar 4-horse Gooseneck. It's a really clean little using unit. If you want to reference this unit, if you're interested in it, stock number is 5U211026. Again, if you're interested in this unit, give us a call. We have some other units coming in. Maybe we have something that fits your guys' needs. But if you want to talk about this unit, give me a call. Again, my name is Tanner. My phone number is 303-684-3409. Thanks for tuning in.